In this video, I'm going to show you how to create parent-child relationships. And so this is going to allow us to have multiple enemies be attacked by the same tower. And so what I've gone ahead and do is I've created a second enemy. So I have SPR enemy and SPR enemy 2. And I have SPR or OBJ enemy. And I duplicated that to OBJ enemy 2. And so but if I was to render the game, my tower is only going to attack the very first enemy. He can't track the second enemy. And because here on line 5 of the tower, I have OBJ enemy. So it attacks that, but I can't put in like the nearest instance for OBJ enemy and enemy 2. So what I need to do is I need to create a parent-child relationship. So I'm going to create a new object. And I'm going to call this one OBJ underscore enemy underscore parent. So I got a new object here. It doesn't need a sprite. Essentially what I'm saying is I can track just the OBJ enemy parent, and anything that's a child of that is going to be, or a descendant of that. So we're just tying this all into one big group. I'm going to say if I add OBJ enemy and OBJ enemy 2, and so now I can say, hey, when we collide, when a bullet collides with the parent, which is either enemy or enemy 2, that's going to create the damage. So if I go back to the enemy here, I need to cut this out. So I'm going to cut out that, and I can delete that event. Go to enemy 2, and go and cut this collision with the bullet out. And then if I go to OBJ enemy parent, I can add an event and add a collision with the bullet and add my code here. And so what's going to happen now, if I went back to my enemy, both enemies are going to show this, and it's kind of grayed out, but what happens is it's showing that this still affects this, like the bullet's still going to affect the enemy, but it's affecting to the enemy parent. And so if I created enemy 3, like if I was to duplicate enemy 2 and create enemy 3, that same thing is going to be in there because it's going to be part of the parent-child relationship, and it's going to get attacked by the same thing. So if I go back here, let's say I got the enemy parent. So if I go to the tower is still tracking OBJ enemy. So instead of enemy, I want OBJ enemy parent. And so now it's going to track the parent and attack the parent. So if I was to render the game at this point, you would see that I still just have OBJ enemy, like the first one, rendering through. So let's go ahead and spawn the second one. So if I go to enemy 2, I'm going to change the speed just a little bit. I've got it set as 1 and enemy as 2. So I just have them different speeds and different colors so I can see the difference. If I go to the enemy spawner here and I go to alarm 0, you can see here I'm creating OBJ enemy. But I'm going to copy this line and I'm going to paste, and I'm going to call it enemy 2. So I have an enemy and enemy 2 coming through, and I'm going to hit F5 and let's see what happens. Okay, so I got 2 different enemies coming through. Put some towers in, and we'll see that it's attacking the old enemy, and now it's attacking the other enemy as well. So now we're one step closer to getting our game all the way done.